Hi there. If you're receiving this video, then either you are a student at Catholic Memorial that's participating with Catholic Memorial's Testive program, or you are the parent of such a student. The purpose of this quick video will be to sort of explain what the program looks like, make sure that you and your parents, if you're a student, are up to date sort of on what it looks like and what you can expect from us here at Testive. Really quickly, my name is Carlos Cousins. I'm a coach here at Testive. So that means that what I generally do is tutor students for success with the SAT or the ACT through our regular program. So not necessarily through your school, but at testive.com for a couple of months, make sure that they're well prepared for the exam. What I will be doing with you, however, is a little bit different, and that's sort of what I want to talk about in this short video. So the agenda for this video, real quick, is an overview of what the Catholic Memorial Tested Program looks like, then a little bit of a timeline for sort of what to expect. If you're unsure, I guess the big fact here is that we're preparing for the April SAT. That's a new version of the SAT post March 2016. And then we'll have sort of like a live demo on how to use Testive effectively, what link to go on to access Testive, that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and get started. The program here at Catholic Memorial will consist of three things for you or your student. You will have to perform to a certain level in order to, I guess, assure that you maintain your position in the program. So that means doing about 80 questions per week. Actually, a minimum of 80 questions per week based on the curricula that get assigned to you. I'll show you how to access that curriculum when we do the live demo, but you should have access to a curriculum that I, as a coach, am able to assign you depending on your performance on questions on Testive. And you need to complete 80 questions of the total number of questions assigned by the end of the week. I will report students' progress after Sunday night at the end of every single week. So somewhere, around like 1 a.m. after I'm sure that everybody had up until the last minute to do some Testive problems Sunday before midnight. And that report, I guess, will send to a contact at your school who will have sort of information on what student engagement looks like, who's doing their questions, who's not, et cetera, et cetera. And I can assure you that if you do the work, as you'll see, we've got a couple, a bunch of data to prove this. You're going to do significantly better on the exam. Something that I want you as a student sort of to keep in mind as you go through this is the test is very repetitive. Questions are very predictable if you see them, in advance. And something that Testive is very helpful for is sort of giving you a little bit of contact with what those questions will look like. And hopefully you can sort of memorize how to solve certain problems and be a little bit better prepared for the exam. So this is what the program will consist of. You will have each week on Friday nights a curriculum assigned to you for the entirety of a week. So this is different from whether or not you've actually completed all 80 questions at this point per week. I'm going to be counting that up until Sunday nights, but you will have a curriculum assigned to you on Friday nights with a minimum of 80 questions. That is your requirement per week. And they will be focused on your areas of weakness. So this is important. We're going to be making sure that you practice those areas that you really need to improve the most, because what we've seen is students who practice those areas tend to improve their scores significantly more rapidly. So this is going to be called your weekly curriculum. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be reporting your progress to your school contact. What you'll see is this little, I guess, bubble here we've got in the picture where it says your coach, and there'll be a picture of your coach. It'll actually be that same picture that I showed a little bit earlier with my face on it, and it'll say Carlos Cousins instead with my email there, and it'll have your assignment listed with a little bit of a note on sort of, where you are in the program, what we think would be best for you to do that week, etc. What we will not do is if you have questions on a specific question, we will not be able to give you, I guess, sort of the tutoring experience. We'll explain how to solve that problem. For that, we strongly encourage you to contact a teacher or a counselor, somebody in your school community that you know is, capable in whatever field. Maybe if it's in reading, say, make sure to ask an English teacher so that they can help you a little bit better with that sort of question, because that is not something that we're offering through the program. That said, something else that we're offering is the answer explanations for questions that you miss. So say, for example, you do an English problem like we have here in this screenshot, and you get the answer incorrect. It will give you a little bit of time to think about it, but once you got the answer correct, there will be a detailed explanation as to why that was the right answer. That will pop up on your screen as I'll show you at the video at the end, sorry, the demo at the end of this video. And over the course of the next 7 days, you will complete reflections on those problems that you missed based off of those solutions that will be available for you, so that you're no longer unsure about them the next time that you see a question. This can be done in class or at home. I understand that at CM, you guys are sort of encouraged to do this during some sort of study hall period. But if you don't have time in school, feel free to do this at home. You can do it absolutely whenever you want. Just make sure that you're doing about 80 questions. You're doing at least 80 questions per week. Um, Another thing that we'll provide for you is I know a lot of you have already taken an exam that about half of you have uploaded onto Testive. Once you upload your scores, we'll be able to keep track of sort of your original score in a specific section and your current score, depending on how you perform on the questions that you do on the site and other practice tests. So I, your coach, will monitor your progress on a daily basis, provide feedback to your school based on the analytics we receive on your work, as well as the notes that you write. Another thing to keep in mind here is we are going to be assessing you through full-length practice tests that are going to be assigned every 4 to 5 weeks, so that we can keep track of sort of how you're doing under time testing conditions that should be administered at your school. And you can upload those onto the website as well to sort of see what your progress looks like or doesn't look like as you prepare for the test. So that generally covers what the structure of your program is. But I know that you're probably thinking, how does it actually work if you haven't been on there, or if you're a parent and you haven't seen your student engage on anything Testive related? So as I mentioned, here is the anticipated live demo. Give me one little bit here to share my screen and show you what this looks like. Perfect. So what you should see now is the Catholic Memorial landing page here at Testive. So if you wanted to create an account as a parent, if you were a parent, you can actually do that. Input your name, email, create a password, and sign up, and you'll have access to a parent account to monitor your student's progress. But as a student, what you want to do is set this to student, and of course, if I imagine most of you guys have signed up. If you haven't still, you would write your name and your email and create a password and sign up. And once you've got going for you, you will be taken to a screen where you can practice for the test. So for this particular student, it looks like they are on the ACT. And you see how ACT is labeled, is sort of highlighted here and not SAT or new SAT, PSAT. What you want to do as a student is highlight new SAT, PSAT, since that's the section that you're going to be, that's the test that you're going to be preparing for, the test that you're going to be taking in April. What you want to do here is the assignment is going to show up down here. There will be a note, as we showed earlier on that screenshot, and you can see the assignment by clicking on View Assignment. When you do certain questions, the number of questions that you complete will, well, actually, I think it has been fixed, so this is great. The amount of questions that you complete will actually show up down here. So as you complete them, your overall progress will increase. So make sure that every week you are completing the entire bar here, that it's yellow all the way up. And if you do that, then we're going to be reporting favorably upon you to your school, and you're going to sort of remain part of the program. Now, to do questions, so say, in this case, we've got math, no calculator questions assigned. What you would do is you would head over to math, no calculator. You click on math, no calculator, and you would be taken to a question set, a question problem set here. So here we've got, for example, an equilateral triangle and a rectangular pentagon, have equal perimeters, that sort of thing. You try to solve the problem, and say you get it correct. Say you have an idea. Something that you can do is click and drag left or right to sort of cross out answer choices you might not like. And say you're left between two answer choices and you happen to make a mistake. It'll say this answer choice is incorrect. And actually, you can get rid of, so let's go ahead and scratch this one out. So you can get rid of things you've scratched out before by just clicking on them again. And you can click on as many as you want until you get the correct answer, but I'm going to go ahead and get the correct answer here. If you're still confused as to why that's the correct answer, there will be an explanation provided. Um, Now, I understand that may not be exhaustive and it may not be, I guess, a complete answer to your confusion about the question. But something that you'll see is when you click next question, you'll be taken to a page where you'll have sort of a space to review. And you can write to yourself what you thought about the question when you solved it. So for example, something we'll ask you to do is to catalog your mistake. You can say, I'm really confused by the question. And here you can write sort of what you think you should do differently in the future to get it correct. If you're very confused, you can actually even write confused for yourself. And if you do that, you know to go back to it and you can ask somebody for help on it. So let's say I'm really confused in this question. If I click confused, so I have to write confused and then click next question, I can then head over to the review tab whenever I want, and that question will be available for me to review. So let me load this one more time here. Whoops, and switch back to new SAT. Awesome. So it looks like you can go ahead and review absolutely any question that you attempt, but it looks like the more recent ones are going to be toward the bottom. So you see how this says confused? You wrote that to yourself. You know that there's something going on with this question, so you can review it. And if you want to go over it with somebody, you would just click on this, pull it up, and discuss the question with somebody at school or wherever so that you can figure out how to do the problem. And as I mentioned earlier, these problems are very repetitive. So if you figure out how to solve one, chances are you'll see a million problems just like this one as you keep on practicing. And that's going to make it so that come test day, when you see a problem just like that, you know exactly how to solve it. So we've got that available for you as a student. Of course, you've taken a test already. If you have not yet uploaded that test, what you want to do is click on Add Practice Test. And if you have your Scantron sheet with you, what you can do is select the number test that you took. So, if you have the, if this was a test that came from the Blue Book that you guys should have access to, and you'll have a number at the top. So if this was test number 3, for example, you click on test number 3. And then you can go ahead and bubble in whatever answers you selected for that test. Click Finish Section, and do the same thing for each section until you're ready. And then when you're done, you would click Show Scores. So because I only inputted 2 answer choices for the reading section, or so, very few answer choices for the reading section, I only got 2% of the reading section correct. But it'll tell me how many total questions there were, how many correct answers I got, how many questions I got incorrect, and how many omitted. What the site will do is they'll take this data and they'll sort of keep track of your performance versus the performance that you need for a specific score on the test. We'll assign you sort of what the makers of the new SAT say your score would be depending on your performance of the test on that particular practice test. And the questions will change to a difficulty that matches your performance in each of these sections for this exam. So that's something that you have access to. And as we assign exams, so like I said, these will be assigned for every 4 to 5 weeks. We'll be able to keep track of this so that we'll have like graphs and tables sort of keeping track of what your performance has looked like as you prepare for the exam. If you have any questions about the test, we've got a tab here where if you click about the test, you can learn a little bit about the new SAT, sort of an overview of what it looks like. If you want to know specifically about the reading section, the writing section, or the differences between the math sections, that's all available there. If you want to set up reminders for yourself, let's say that you know that you can practice 25 questions on Mondays, 20 on Wednesdays, 20 on Thursdays. This is a lot of questions. This student would be going above and beyond if they were doing that. It's 105 questions per week. But let's say that's what you want to do. You can send yourself reminders on study days, or request not to have any by clicking, by selecting or unselecting this little checkbox here, selecting at what time of day you would like to receive a reminder, whether by text, email, or both, And then you can provide, we have your email. You can provide a cell phone number if you would like text. And you can get these reminders no matter what, every day at whatever time you say, or only if you have not studied. So you would save those settings, and then you'd receive a funny text with some pop culture reference or something like that, reminding you to do some questions on Testive, just in case you forgot. So that's kind of what it looks like. And we'll be keeping track here of what days you've done questions, how many, whether or not you missed certain study sessions that you planned for yourself here in the calendar too, et cetera, et cetera. Now, to reiterate what I said a little bit about what I talked a little bit about at the beginning, you will not have access to a coach that will meet with you over video to go over your work. So something that you may or may not see is, I guess, some encouragement from the website to sign up for a scheduled call with me. That is something that is not going to be available through your program. So make sure not to pursue that unless you're interested in actually signing up for a completely different program through the site through Testive. Just beware that that's not going to be covered by your school. So that is something to keep in mind. And hopefully that clears up some questions about what Testive looks like, what we do on it, sort of what services we have here at Testive that I guess are being offered to you through this program. And yeah, I just hope that that cleared up some in any questions that you guys have. If you have any questions that you would like to address to me specifically about the program, about anything in particular, really, do feel free to contact me at carlos@testive.com, and I'm gonna go ahead and type that there onto the chat box. I hope you can see that, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, that you found it helpful, and that your prep goes great and that you do well in your exams. Best of luck in April, and yeah, keep in contact if you've got any concerns whatsoever. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye.